I'm live. I'm live. Holy smokes. They call me bobsled the way I slide. I don't know why that just popped in my head earlier today. It's just, they call me bobsled the way I slide. Usually, what I do is I get set up before I go live. I take a little gander through the code base, make sure that I'm not griefing myself by going live. But today I didn't fucking do any of that shit. I just pressed go live, so that's cool. No warming up. Didn't warm up. I got out of bed and I said, man, best way for me to get rid of any bad feeling in life is to simply go live. Just go live. Just go live and start working and don't think about anything. I got this, if you're familiar with the internet checkpoint, I got the internet checkpoint fucking in my recommended. The new one, not the one that Nintendo took down, because fuck Nintendo. God, I learned today of the internet checkpoint getting taken down. Apparently it happened 2 years ago. And that's why I haven't gotten it in my recommended. And I just wow, fucking ruined my day. Instant day ruiner. If you don't know, the internet checkpoint is it was just a video of, Donkey Kong Sticker Brush Symphony. And yeah, I've been getting that recommended, in my recommended for so many years now. It just became like a regular thing, and now it's just wiped off of the face of the earth, and I'm just supposed to be okay with that. Fucking awful, by the way. Anyway, I'm gonna make a checklist again because yesterday went pretty good because I made a checklist. A couple of things we need to check out. So saving, for some reason, the UI isn't working. I'm not really sure what's going on. I'm fairly sure that it's only one UI element is saving. So I'm fairly sure that it's something to do with the loop just being wrong. And hopefully it's a simple problem. Other than that should be the last thing we have to do with the UI system, is just figuring out how to save it properly. Past that, I want to finish drop downs. Drop downs were drop downs work functionally, but they aren't hooked up to data. It needs to selecting a drop down element needs to actually do something on the interior. It doesn't actually do anything right now. So that's all cool. I can do a test UI, I guess. That seems good with me. So test UI. Yeah, what else am I gonna work on today? It's kind of blown open now. I can just work on whatever I want to, I guess. I kind of want to actually make something gameplay wise, because um gameplay stuff. I want to do gameplay stuff because honestly, I just want to have something to show, when a potential employer or whatever asks me, what's the most recent project you've done? And I say, I've been working on an engine for an inconceivably long, tedious amount of hours. There's over 20,000 lines in the code base. I don't want him to look at me like a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? So, gameplay stuff. I want to test an encounter. And so what we need to do for this is we need an attack animation for enemy. We need also we need the UI, of course, but that's pretty obvious. And I want player is going to have like an NPC. I hate to say it, fucking hate component. Okay, sorry for saying component. I know it's not something that I like to get in the habit of saying, but okay, a player is going to have an NPC component. Okay, other things that can have an NPC component are like, the people in your party that need items, spells, whatever the fuck. Okay. What's wrong with components? Oh my god, here we go. There's nothing wrong with components. I think it's just unnecessary complication for a indie game engine. I also think that if you aren't using components in the way that they're meant to be used, which is to eliminate cache misses, then you're just griefing yourself and your own engine. I think it's overly complex and unnecessary. Hey guys. Good morning. What's wrong with components? There's nothing wrong inherently with components, but if you aren't unnecessary for an indie game, I'm talking about an unnecessary optimization. Like, if you aren't using components in the way that they're supposed to be used, for example, iterating over them separate from iterating over entities, right? That's what components are supposed to be used for. They are supposed to be used in the way that you iterate over them so that you have clean cache lines, right, on the CPU. That's the only reason components are useful. And I have no fucking intention of implementing that. Because it just isn't necessary for my engine, because I don't have systems where that would be useful. I don't have a physics component. I just don't have it. I have a collision system, but that it doesn't work off of anything component wise. I don't have an AI component. My system works with callbacks. The only thing that could be componentized right now is this NPC component that just stores in inventory and data. But this is the only thing where I've thought, oh, I might need a component. But in terms of that's where components are used. That's the only reason that they're useful, is for that optimization. If you look at any of the actual reasons behind them. ECSs are over-engineered and overused. Exactly. Like I have no intention of. I mean, so the reason why ECSs are so popular is because they have been used by AAA game studios for the past however many years, like 10 years especially. It's pretty much only what they use, and it's because it is super efficient at doing what a general engine needs to do. Like if you need an engine that's similar, like the Half-Life 2 engine that has a physics system, all of these things, then it is more efficient you are because you are iterating over. For example, for a component to be useful, you have to be iterating over every component linearly. That's the only time that it's going to outperform, something else. But I mean, I just don't really have the intention of within my game ever needing that. Like that's something that I'm just not gonna have in my game engine is a physics system. If you do it correctly, it results in much cleaner and much faster code. It results in what I've heard is like a 10% performance increase. Like my bottleneck is never going to be my CPU loop, but my GPU loop. And labels the code as an ECS just because they use ID somewhere? No. No, I'm talking about the actual ECSs. 10% in real-time applications is a lot. Do you want to see me profile my own engine here and tell you what the bottleneck is? It's the fucking fragment shaders. Man. like I mean, it's my bottleneck is never ever gonna be my CPU loop. 100 billion%. Maybe I will consider it if I have a billion entities that I can't call within a scene. But I mean, I just don't think, especially for the game that I want to make, that it's going to be useful. Not at all. What am I drinking? Coffee. I don't know. I had like an urge to say alcohol or something there. I don't know why. It just popped in my head. Anyway. As I was saying, I'm in a bad mood because the internet checkpoint got taken down by Nintendo. That's one company that if they offered me a job, I wouldn't work at. There's so many jobs, so many companies that I would put aside my fucking ethical bullshit to work at within a moment's notice. Like I wouldn't bat an eye. But Nintendo is just a fucking awful company. I hate Nintendo. Love their games, hate Nintendo. Anyway, I'm in a bad mood because of it. Also, I think ECSs are overrated. Anyway, let's investigate the saving for the UI. I can get rid of that to-do. That's a really old to-do. Much to do about nothing. Okay, so here we're iterating over the menu count. I wrote this is an important line. Okay, so if our menu ID doesn't equal our menu ID, we continue. This is correct. You're not gonna believe it, but I drink raw coffee. I mean, I do believe it. I've known quite a few black coffee drinkers in my time. I don't understand it personally. I mean, whatever floats your boat, I guess. I think okay, so I'm not saying that you're like this. Okay, I'm not saying you're like this, but I've met some coffee drinkers that were like the I'm doing air quotes here, rough types, where they're like, you know, badass and they wear like steel-toed boots on the subway and shit. I just, I don't know. I just, to me, raw coffee tastes like, drinking alcohol. Anyway. But I mean, I think it's good. When I get an error in my code, I put ice in it and drink it in one shot with Anchor. Dude, I hate it when I drink coffee fast because it fucks me up, man. It fucks me up. I mean, I was expecting to go in this file and then see something here. I'm just not seeing it. I'm just not seeing whatever is happening here. I know a dude who's never stopped smoking weed and he never gets errors in his code. Maybe that's because he doesn't get any code done because he's smoking weed. Drink decaf in the afternoon. Yeah, I don't, which is why my sleep schedule gets fucked up. Yeah, I'm not seeing whatever the issue is. Like, the issue is that data.add.json. Oh, wait. Wait, it actually saved. Oh. Oh. My helix was wrong. Oh, this works then. Oh, we were trying to fix a bug that doesn't exist. Okay. Never mind. Never mind. My bad. Okay, so let's load the first UI. Yeah. Going against the movement and messing with Rust. Rust is cool. I think Rust is cool. They've also got that web shit going on, WebAssembly. Holy smokes. Are links enabled? I don't think that they are, and I don't know how to enable them. I think that they've gotten deleted every time someone has posted a link in the chat, which honestly I don't mind because there have been some weird individuals that have naturally crossed my path. Okay, so what I'm seeing is 2 UI elements. Ah, there is a third one. Okay. I thought that I made a slider though. I thought that one of these was supposed to be a slider. Maybe I didn't make a slider. This one's a container. I think it was supposed to contain these elements. Ah, shit. Let's see the JSON itself. Children data default. Yeah, it's there. Children data and default. Okay, so you know why they're probably not showing up is no. That should work. I probably just wrote the code for that wrong. I asked ChatGPT then I'm making for a project and I got one error and I thought, why would I waste my time to fix an error? Yeah, that's ChatGPT for you. Arya, you also have some awful fucking takes. Like you said that Macs are better than Mac is better than Windows because of fucking because it's Unix based. Uh, you also said specifically that I was wrong for saying that Apple just makes phones. Apple is a sweatshop company. Still didn't tell you how you were wrong. Okay, so let's think about this. Let's talk about this for a second. Apple phones. I've had an iPhone since the iPhone 3 or whatever, or 2 or whatever. Didn't have a fucking file manager until a few years ago. They started having a fucking file manager. Can you just like imagine that in your brain for a second? And then repeat to me this drivel about it being a good company. There's a few other things I want to touch on. Okay. I'm like fairly sure, right? That they didn't allow you to install other browsers until a while ago. Also, emulation wasn't a thing on Apple devices. It was completely the monopoly that they have over the packages that can be installed on their systems is absolutely authoritarian bullshit, and I won't have it. They have an app store, which is a package manager that dictates what you can and cannot install on your device. It's fucking awful. On computers as well, they have this awful build system that makes it really difficult portability wise, and they enjoy it. They love it because they want you to buy their iCloud fucking bullshit to back up your entire, it exists on this like I don't know. It's also, let's talk about, because to me it's not even just about the product. I think that they are a company that markets themselves toward this millennial, older, white, especially in America, and they just completely sweep under the carpet the fact that they are the most outsourced company in the fucking world. I just will never understand how they get away with being this clean kind of company when they are one of the most unethical companies in the entire world. I never got iCloud upgrading and I never will. Thank God, because it's something that is pushed. You download items from the internet onto your phone and they get put in a fucking iCloud folder that it prompts you to download iCloud every time you go into it. I will never, ever support that company. It is dog shit. Um, Windows tries to do the same thing with OneDrive, but it does not equal the same extent. Um, After all the shit Nintendo pulled, I'll never. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was talking about Nintendo earlier today about how much I hate Nintendo, but I mean, to be honest, I've never. I don't know. The one thing I remember from my dad's Mac was that literally anything, especially like if this was like 10 years ago, you could not install anything on a Mac that wasn't prepackaged in some type of package that you can install through their package manager system or whatever. Um and anything that wasn't, you had to run with Wine. Um Basically Linux back in the day, but way worse on a, you know, it's just because they got away with it. It's just because they got away with not letting people develop for their system, which is just, you know, I don't know. It got way better in the last 5 years. Yeah, well, too fucking late. Like, it got way better in the last 5 years because they stopped selling fucking computers. That's why, you know. I promise you that they you know it goes against their belief system to let people actually install shit on their computers. Like, I genuinely believe that Apple exists to control you. Um, Everything that they've done as a company makes me believe that all they want to do is control you, and I doubt that they made their their uh their OS more portable in the last 5 years just because they felt like giving back to their community. I doubt that their intentions are very noble, you know. Anyway, my rant is over. My rant is over because I'm just gonna get in a bad mood thinking about this shit. Okay. Okay, so the save isn't wrong, the load is wrong, which makes sense because I did the load when I was significantly more tired than when I did the save. Um, okay, so we aren't setting container children, which is annoying. Oh yeah, I have to exit out of my engine. But yeah, so you see that how this says that there's no, it is a container, but it didn't have a thing. Is container, but it didn't have a container attached to it. That's why this menu didn't show up. It didn't have an allocated container. Curious. Datacock. Don't know why I said that out loud. Um, Bro, I love Linux so much. If I got two options, one my GF, two Linux, I'm gonna choose my babe Linux. Bro, ThinkPad Linux coffee is out of the world. This guy's got some good takes. What the hell? It was the first buttons that I pressed on my computer when I was making the test UI. That's what it means. Um, what is metal? What is metal? Italic this. Wait, hold on. Bro? Did I spell this right? Container options. Container options. Hey, it looks right to me. Metal is that Apple rendering API. Why are you... Why you didn't have to answer that. You didn't have to say like a shitty version of OpenGL. Weren't you defending their company? Like, you didn't have to. I want you to have good takes. Okay? Like, I don't want you to have bad takes, Arya. You're my moderator. Yeah, I can't have you having bad takes. You gotta stand up for yourself. How performant is the rendering of my UI? It's not SDF. It's all mesh based, triangulated. That's why you can do weird shit like add an infinite number of points. Bro, this shit is crazy. Why is this? Oh, 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 oh. Aha. 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 Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just me not assigning a pointer. Classic. 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 This is what happens when I write code fast, is that I just make dumb errors like that. Retain mode UI. What does retain mode mean? When it comes to programming? Okay, you did not say that, Aria. You did not say that. You did not say that, and how I know you didn't say that is because I have a video that I edited with you not saying that. You said that Mac is better than Windows because it's Unix based. Okay, you did not say that when it comes to programming. When it comes to programming, Mac is probably better than Windows, hands down. By using low-level lang when it's not that big of a project, it could be much simpler in an engine like Unity or Godot. I don't like the development philosophy of modern game engines. I think game engines should directly inform the games that are made with them. I don't agree with general purpose engines. They not only perform worse, but they look samey, and they all have the same collision physics systems, and all of the backends are the same. So games end up looking like slop, all the same, all the time. You're a programming channel? I thought it was implied. I'm not a programming channel. I just get on here and yap, okay? Programming channel. That's a crazy argument. Listen, listen. You didn't say that, but I agree with you now, and we can stop arguing. Things doesn't matter if it doesn't change. Yeah, that's what my system is. If it wasn't like that, it would be very expensive because there's a lot of vertices naturally, since mine isn't SDF based. I don't think retain mode UI is good for a game. What do you mean? Things doesn't render if it doesn't change? Oh, yeah, my things render if they don't change, but it doesn't basically rebuild the draw buffer, if you know what I mean, if it doesn't change. I only have to rebuild the draw buffer when during editing. Okay. Now I guess we can just recompile and see. Now I can check the other things. Yeah, but don't you look for something that would do the job much easier? Yeah, it might be more interesting, but it's nothing better than completing the project faster and smoother. I mean, there is something better than completing the project faster and smoother. It's called completing the project good. I don't know. I'm a very odd person. I've always done things my way, and I don't like other people's way of doing most things. So that's why I made my own engine, because I'm not like other people. Not to like say, oh, I'm like different, but I just, I just kind of is the way I am. Okay, so if I go to interact slider here, and then we make a slider for the rest of the UI elements, will they change? That's all we care about here. Let's not go to 100. I don't know what I was smoking there. Let's go to 10. And let us make it, it has a current ID of data. So scroll bar ID is data. And let's see if we move it. Interesting. I moved the text box slightly. Kind of worried about that, to be honest, because that's not how it was yesterday with not loaded UI, so I'm kind of worried. Let me make another element and then try to parent it. Yo, why data? Because I name things data because I'm used to strafing, like in video games. So naturally, my fingers always go to DA, 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 DA because I'm a bee hopper. That's why. That's why data. Okay. If over 200 hours of programming mods, yeah, because I'm fucking nice with it. Thanks, by the way. Thanks for bringing attention to that. Oh yeah, I gotta change the ID for this. Oh, I added default twice, didn't I? Oh no. Oh. Yeah, we have to change this from default. We can't have. Okay, I'm just going to call it A just to not make you mad. That's what I'm gonna do. We need to parent that. We need to parent that. Add to container. Okay. Oh, it's because I didn't do a scroll dir. That's why. That's probably why. Yeah, that's working now. Does that mean I'm nice with it? It means that I'm good. That means that I'm good at programming. What's up, Axel? Long time no see. Hello, my little dust mite. Interesting comment. I'm nice with it. Have you not like heard that before? I've got to fix this wireframe happening on the the screen. Like this is okay. So the way we make our quit button now is I'm going to go here and select this UI element, and then just like I also have to make these less transparent. I know that they're super transparent and hard to see right now, but okay, so does this work? If I go to quit action, yes, we quit. That's quitting. Assertion fail. I mean, it did quit. It did crash on quit, but it did quit. It did quit. Indeed, it did. Can I make you a cup of coffee? I cannot. Well, Ari, you haven't heard that saying, and I haven't heard, and I obviously don't know how to use the saying The fucking, you couldn't pay me to do that, so you know we're even. 200 hours of programming VODs. Holy shit. Bro, Malcolm Gladwell would be proud. I got like 10,000 hours at least in this shit. If you don't know the reference, it's because a guy named Malcolm Gladwell wrote this book. Chud book. Fucking weirdo guy. Called whatchamacallit, Outliers or whatever, about people who have 10,000 hours. Yeah, that's how it works. 200 equals 10,000. Motherfucker, what do you think I did before I started streaming? Jeez. You're feisty today. Wish I had so much free time. No, you don't. It's not fun. How old am I? 24. Okay. To be honest though, I hope that one day when I finish this project, you know, somebody's gonna be like, wow, that's a badass project. I want to work with this person on something, you know? I think it's badass to make a game engine because most people aren't making game engines anymore. Shit's badass to make art, you know? Bro, no coffee? Not for you. No. Nope, no coffee for you. Okay, so we can get that off of the... Oh, yeah, we forgot to finish drop downs. Should have looked at this list. We can get rid of this since this is finished drop downs hooked up to data. Okay, so how... Okay, we have to brush up on our drop down code because I don't remember how the fuck it works. This was like months ago. Tokyo Spliff is a madman. Yeah, Tokyo Spliff is really cool. He also does very long coding streams. Does my game engine have a UI? Yeah, it does. Will the game be moddable? Yep. Yeah. Yes, it will be. Don't remember how drop downs work. Check Sapiens. It took about 7 years for him to make that game with his own engine. Yeah, I mean, I hope that I eventually, maybe soon, have like a demo or something to show for it, you know? Because I'm just gonna be honest, you know, this shit ain't paying for itself, that's for sure. Animal Well was also 7 years. Yeah, that shit is... That's a long fucking time, man. It's a long time. Oh my god, what the fuck is this code? Old interactable equals element interactable. And then if it's a drop down, then we free the drop down. And then if we're switching to a drop down, shit, bro. Okay. The problem is really the options, right? The options need to get populated from some runtime variable, and I need to like figure out how to do that. So basically, what we would need to have for a drop down to work, let's say you've got a character with some fucking spells in it or whatever, you would need those the elements to have string names that get put in here. It would need that. And we would need some way to fetch them specifically. So what this might look like, if we go to our registry, I would need to, where the fuck is my callback? Yeah, where does this go? Okay, here we are. So what we would need is because the data can actually change during runtime, we need not only a bind function to bind the data, we need an ability to call that bind function when the data changes. Or we just point to that data in the first place. One of those. So this is what we had last time for a dropdown, was expand dropdown, and then the dropdown elements have choose option, which chooses the option as a callback. Expand dropdown needs data inside of it here, or it needs it here. The issue with binding data is that I only have a way to do it once. But let's say you're in combat or something and you get a new item and now your drop down doesn't have that item, then it's just fucking broken. So we would need to be pointing at data in the first place. So we need to bind a pointer. We need to bind a pointer here. Bind pointer. Oh shit, this is actually fucked. Oh my god, this is fucked. This is fucked. Oh no. Oh no. Oh man. Okay, this is a real bummer. Okay. Okay. So the reason why this is fucked is because you have, let's say you have a struct with whatever you need to get a drop down for. It's an array of structs, right? So AOS. We need an array of strings to get from that and to update. And there's no way to do that. There's no way to do that. Unless you have two different things. Unless you have an array of elements and an array of IDs that are separate but updated in tandem. So you have, for example, the NPC component has structs of items and an array of IDs for them. Is this the only way to do this? Dude, I think it is. But seems so over-engineered. Replace the repetitive null true soup with designated initializers or helper macros for less boilerplate. Okay. No problem. I think that this is the only way to do it. I think this is the only way to do it. Yeah. I think so. This is the way that Nuclear does it too. By the way, this is the way that every UI library does it. You need char pointer pointer. You need it. Because without it, you would need like 10 different drop downs, different drop downs per struct, you know? Like you would have expand drop down this, expand drop down that, you know? For every different struct that you're trying to grab that data from. Okay. Alrighty then. Alright, we're gonna bind it. What is bind drop down pair again? Oh, we're just binding the parent drop down to the label. Okay, so I need a function here that binds bind options. And do we want the drop down or the element? I think I'd rather have the element. Yeah, it's not gonna let me do that. Yes. Yeah, we're just doing the same thing here. Yeah, so we need to return I think that we can just return Yeah. So this is just gonna be char. Oh, I obviously can't do that. You know what I should be doing is writing comments for these. Or actually, it's not necessary because I explicitly cast them. I know that nuclear does it with constar pointer pointer only. I don't know if this is necessary. Uh, Actually, we don't even need a bind function, do we? I don't even think we need this. Hold on, hold on. I think I can literally just bind it. Oh no, I do. I do. I do. I do. Yeah. This is really difficult, actually. Okay, so this is very complicated because I can't just basically pass it into the UI element. I have to fetch it somehow. I have to fetch these options somehow. We can't just pass it. God, I'm totally gonna over-engineer this. I'm totally gonna over-engineer this bullshit. This is why I stopped working on dropdowns, because this is what got me stuck. It was trying to make it so that we can grab an arbitrary string array during runtime. It's just kind of like not possible. Yeah, sorry, I'm thinking really hard about this because I want this to not be stupid. Oh god. Yeah, I'm like trying not to over engineer this, and I'm just realizing that the simplest way to do it would just be to write a function that takes in a string array. Like, yeah. I just want it to be automated, you know? My like dream is having a UI system that just knows what data to bind when it needs to bind it. Like in the inside, you know? Just on the UI element definitions itself. Yeah. Okay, that's what I have to do. It's fine. It's not a big deal. It's just I mean, but then it becomes so much simpler. Yeah, okay, so let's just do that. Let's just do that. I mean, this becomes so much simpler if I just write that function that just takes in a struct, knows where to get the options from. Okay, so to do this, we actually need to make the struct first. This is going to be player. Let's go and put a pointer in here to this NPC thing. I am very reluctant to call it a component. But it is a component because it is just literally going to be a component thing. I hate how that looks. Okay. Inside of here, okay, so we want our IDs separate. So you're gonna have, now we get into actual, like, you know, coding the game logic thing. So we're gonna have inside of here like an item maybe. Spell, I don't know. I don't really know if spell is what I would call it. Yeah, sure, we can call it spell, it's fine. So this is going to have IDs. Hold on. If I use chart pointer, I can't use chart pointer 64. Which is how I usually do my IDs, 64. So I'm wondering if I change that. Hold on, let me think about this. I hate mallocing strings when it isn't necessary. I prefer to just not have to fucking deal with it. Because it makes destruction just so much easier when you don't have to do that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's just do this. Yeah, you definitely want arenas for this, don't you? Okay. I will make it define for that because it needs a define. That's a lot. Let's do 640. That's a lot though. Okay. Okay, so now we have something to grab. So what we will take in for the bind function is going to be a Do we want to take in the component? Dude, I think so. Taking the component. How do I get that, though? How do I get that? Honestly, what we can do here is put in G. Yeah. Okay, I got it. I figured. We got there. We got there. Figured it out. Okay, so the beautiful thing that we can do here is just simply pass in globals. Now this might seem ridiculous, but it is actually necessary, and I'll explain why in a second. We need a way to get data during runtime. Wait, but how do I know which one to get? How do I know which one to get? I need to listen to music. That's something that I need to do. What am I listening to today? There's nothing really good in my recommended. That's for sure. What's that? I have a certain mix in my mind that is in my liked videos. Ba 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 ba. Where is this? This is so far back now. Here it is. God, that took forever to load. Okay. Are you code manually? Use AI, please. That's gotta be a rage bait. Hey, what's up, Masked? That has to be rage bait, right? Yeah, this mix is awesome. Okay, so I have a drop down that needs data, and we're passing in globals to it. Issue with this though. Yeah. Yeah, the issue is that we don't know which NPC component to get. We just don't have that information. We could have... Okay, I have an idea. It might not be the cleanest implementation, but if we had on the component an ID that matches the ID of the dropdown itself, then we can string compare against it to get the correct NPC component. Yeah, that's how we do it. We need to make an array to iterate over first, though. Okay, so this is going to be NPC component pointer. No, it's going to be... We're gonna have a max on this. God, I can't hit the keys today. I'm nervous. I'm shaking. Okay. Let me make it defined for that. Let's just do that. I don't know, random number for now. Okay. So we just need to iterate over the the NPC components. And I will be arenaing those components. Well, it'll just be arenaed with the entities. Okay, so... And then we will string compare against our own. Let's make sure we do this. So if if L interactable doesn't equal interact drop down return, right? Classic there. And then we want to get the drop down and we are going to we want the drop down ID. Is this? It's under element ID. With the Did I name it stupid? Yeah, I did. spell count, item count. We want to go over item count. Well, now you just want this to be actually C. Okay. Why did that just not... Hello? Okay, we need to malloc this, God, I'm not feeling it today. I don't know what it is. To be honest, this is pretty, this is pretty annoying code to write. Option capacity, yeah. So now we are going to do drop down options. I equals string dupe, item count, items, i.id. Okay. We don't have anything to actually return. Okay, I mean, I think this works. The thing is, we don't have anything to free either, do we? The only purpose of this bind function is just to put it on the struct itself. So we don't even need a free for this. Got it. Or maybe we do. Yeah, maybe that guy was right. I forgot what these true and falses do. It's been a long time since I wrote this code. And I just did not want to do that. Let me look up what this does. This is bind self. What does bind self do? I think it... I see. So it's an... This automatically just binds itself is what this does. I see. A data is void pointer. So what we could do is we could just set that pointer. We can just set that pointer to itself. Okay. So instead of returning null, we can bind the NPC component count that we matched on. And then that's what we'll bind. And then every time we update the dropdown or expand it, we check for new elements. Just to make sure that we don't miss anything. Okay. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it indeed. Okay. So let's hard code something in here, I guess. Let us hard code something real quick. So let's say that the player has an NPC component. Did I put this here? No, I didn't. NPC component. And it's going to be in our globals. Yeah. So let's just hard code it. On a init, we want to, let's just put it in here. Why does it not let me do that? What? Did I not put... Why does it not let me... Oh, we just need to... God, I'm slow today. I'm so slow today. So let's just do this. So okay, so we have the setup here for different items. And if we make a drop down with, oh, it's in this file. If we make a drop down with this callback that binds the, let's not call this expand drop down because we need to bind yeah. And now when we call expand dropdown, if the options Yeah. Make sure to put that there. I'm willing to give this a shot. Unknown type name. Did it do something dumb? It did a classic, yeah. Yep, classic. I have 4 of these now. I'm keeping track because Helix does this bullshit, or Clanged or whatever, where it will automatically try and fix your includes. Fucking bullshit, by the way. Still is giving me this, though. Which is a different issue. It's because this needs to be... This needs to be... It did it again. Fuck you. So mad that I... that I did this. Oh, this is just ridiculous. Oh. Well, that was just me. That error is just me being stupid. That's just me being stupid. Okay. What am I doing? Okay, we're making a drop down. We're making a drop down focus. We want to make a new element and make it a drop down size. I have to fix the alpha channel on these. This cannot be this dark. It's just impossible to see. It's truly impossible to see. Okay, whatever. So let's make it, how do I make it a rectangle in my engine again? I forgot. I have to move the points. Correct. To select points. Interact drop down. Okay. It automatically goes to expand drop down. That's correct. Wait, did I rename it? Yeah, I did. This needs to change to expand. Well, let's change the text size first. and the alignment if possible. How do I do? God, I hate how this goes off the screen. Does align center not work? Maybe alignment broke. Well, hopefully this works still, but expand drop down items. Change action and huh. Interesting. Looks like it has the correct. If I change the options, directly, does it work? Oh god, it locked my fucking keyboard. Oh my god, that's actually so annoying that that just happened. Huh. So it appears that on click, we aren't, doing that action. Expand drop down. Let me try something else then. Let me try the action ID of nuclear. This works. Just expand drop down doesn't work. First of all, it doesn't have options automatically because otherwise it would say it has options. So, oh, of course it's not going to have options because, okay, expand drop down still isn't working, but okay, it's not going to have options populated inside of it because this option thing isn't working, by the way, because it's locking my keyboard. So I have to fix that, dude. Like, it won't let me exit editor mode unless I like click on a different one and then click off, and it still isn't letting me. Yeah, I've got to fix that. That's absurd. That's absurdly frustrating. Okay. Oh, it's spawning them on top of it? No. No, that's just the shifting that's happening. Okay, so I'm assuming that it isn't adding it. It's adding it to the wrong. Yeah, we obviously shouldn't be malloking here anymore because we changed our system. So I have to change that. But first of all, of course this isn't going to be working because I never put the ID to match on. I was supposed to put lag, thanks. Thank you. This is supposed to be the same ID. So, let's just call this ID. So expand dropdown needs to be changed, of course. Okay, so how am I gonna do this? I'm not mallocing anymore. So to expand, we need... Wait, we can... No. We are mallocing. Wait, yeah, why isn't this working? This is correct. We should avoid all of this mallocing, but let's not even worry about that for now. I'm down to give this a print. Yeah. Wait, hold on. If L equals default UI element, it doesn't equal the correct menu. That's probably why. I forget what menu ID is, or menu index, but we need to stir copy the menu ID from the E menu ID. Yeah. Yeah, we used to just copy the visibility ID, but for now we don't need to do that because it's a different visibility. So it was spawning items, it just that they had the wrong menu ID. I'm kind of L menu index equals the element count minus 1. Okay. Also, if menu element count is greater than or equal to max elements, max UI elements, continue. We're gonna ignore that. Okay. We also need the box to have this. What is menu index? What is menu index used for? It looks like it's literally just used to index the array. Okay, well that can't be correct. So this has to be menu text box count minus 1. Yeah, let's just return. Okay. Stop doing that. Please. You know, let's not do it on the same, one that has a container. Let's just do it here. Just like in. For some reason it's not executing the drop down function. Oh, it didn't get its options. Don't break my keyboard this time. Oh my god, why does it break my keyboard every time? Every time it's this specific text box. Oh, my music stopped because YouTube doesn't want me to be happy. Please, please. Okay, I need to fix this bug. This is like absurd. It's a nuclear thing, believe it or not. This isn't working either. Does changing the active option work? It does. Alignment segfaults us. String length. We aren't getting in here because we would have been printing out. Yeah, I'm wondering how we aren't getting in there. Interesting. So let's figure out why that alignment thing just segfaulted us though. Maybe that has something to do with it. I need to figure out where the code for that is. For now, let's just do this. Where is the... What's the alignment down here? Change label alignment. We didn't get this printout, did we? We got a string length assertion. Wait, how? If we didn't get this printout, then how? How would this... Oh, determine text box dimensions uses the text. And if text has nothing in it. But I have a length less than or equal to 0 returned. I don't want to get stuck on this all day. I just don't want to get stuck on this all day. Text alignment options. Let me take a look at this. This should be fine. And it was only setting it to a certain one that broke it. Oh man, this is a bummer. We gotta do prints. What did I call this? Check UI state, process UI state. So it's either not binding correctly or something else is happening, I guess. I don't know. Okay, let's give this another test, I guess. Okay, so let's make sure that this is... I've got to fix that. Oh, I also didn't fix the goddamn... Oh my god. Whatever. So does it fill with options? No. It doesn't. Doesn't match. Okay, this is gonna break my keyboard again. Classic. Yeah, I don't know why this... I mean, I know why it happens, by the way. It's just nuclear flags that I'm messing up on. It's very annoying, though. Does it call... No. What? It's not calling the function in the first place. Or maybe it's... It's working for these, but it's not working for this, so... Wait. Oh, I'm just being dumb. It just was in the wrong spot for this. Solve action callback. We aren't matching. I feel like I'm doing something really stupid here, maybe. Oh, I'm... This was a bug, but it's not the bug. Oh, I'm reusing a variable name. Probably not the bug though. Hold on. Did I... that's what I didn't do. Fun fact, actually, this sample from this song, back when this channel was a bee-hopping channel, when I was like a 15-year-old, this the song that this sample is from, I used in one of my bee-hop videos. Just a little bit of nostalgia. God, I was so bad at bee-hopping. Yeah, I wasn't increasing the counter, but we still didn't match. We still didn't match. Hold on, when I call this function, Yeah, we have to do prints. I don't know. I'm very confused here. Oh, you know what? When we spawn it, we might not be... when we spawn the drop down, we might actually not be... This is not down here.